Gotta say, Kyle, it's been a tough summer when we look at some of the great talents that have left us. First, Robin Williams over the past few weeks, and now getting news yesterday that Joan Rivers, the trailblazing comedian, passed away at the age of 81. And man, oh man, has she left us with some moments to remember.
I'm thinking this morning that Robin and Joan are sitting up there somewhere, sharing some laughs and having a really expensive bottle of champagne.
It was a great photo of the two being passed around on Twitter yesterday, too, as she remembered Robin when Robin passed away. The moments, the bold nature of her comedy. I mean, she was the comedian that always said what she was thinking, and this documentary, a piece of work that came out, I think 5 years ago, gonna have to revisit this over the weekend, because this was a powerful piece and glimpse into what she went through as a comedian.
When you look at how this woman reinvented herself when her talk show failed in the 1980s and the fallout with Johnny Carson, Joan Rivers really is the person who made red carpets a thing to watch before any event. She was the one that took on the role of making fun of what celebrities were wearing long before Ryan Seacrest and the Kathy Griffins of the world were doing that. The red carpet coverage that you see on your TV today is all because of this woman. The stuff that came out of this woman's mouth, we saw her just a little while ago, was amazing. But of course, her daughter Melissa was releasing the news yesterday, and this is Melissa just a few moments after it was made public, going inside of her mother's apartment in Manhattan. Her mom lived quite the extravagant lifestyle inside that condo, which you do see in that documentary.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, she was a guest co-host on The Tonight Show way back in the day, and Johnny Carson was one of the first credited to discovering her true talent. And here's a look back at some memorable moments with Joan Rivers.
Has there been new additions to your person that...
Well, what I did, I put in what I had in 65. There's a lot of rubber in me tonight. I had some boobs. I had so much rubber in me, they erased what I had. Except, you know something? With age comes wisdom.
Yes.
You don't need big boobs to be feminine. Look at Liberace.
And the thing about Joan is that if you didn't know the story, Joan always filled in for Johnny Carson. He was a huge fan of hers. They had a big friendship. She was the permanent guest host of The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And then she got this opportunity to go over to Fox to have her own show. And when she went to tell Johnny that she was going to be his competition, he never spoke to her ever again for the rest of his life.
Which was a great moment when Jimmy Fallon took over The Tonight Show and she finally appeared after all of those years. And she had her philosophy on jokes. Whether you loved her comedy or hated her comedy, she had you talking, she had you reacting, and she always pounded the laughter out of her audience. Here's her philosophy on how she brought comedy to the mainstream.
If I think I want to talk about it, then it's right to talk about it. And I purposely go into areas that people are still very sensitive and smarting about.
Why?
If you laugh at it, you can deal with it. That's how I've lived my whole life. If I swear to you, and I'm Jewish, if I were in Auschwitz, I would have been doing jokes just to make it okay for us.
It's a great philosophy. And there's this interesting thing that kind of has been making the rounds. Joan actually planned her own funeral, which is set for Sunday in Manhattan. And I'm just going to read this piece. She says, "When I die, I want my funeral to be a huge showbiz affair with lights, cameras, action. I want craft services. I want paparazzi. I want publicists making a scene. I want it to be Hollywood all the way. I don't want some rabbi rambling on. I want Meryl Streep crying in 5 different accents. I don't want a eulogy. I want Bobby Vinton to pick up my head and sing Mr. Lonely. I want to look gorgeous, better dead than I do alive. I want to be buried in a Valentino gown. I want Harry Winston to make me a toe tag. And I want a wind machine so that even in the casket, my hair is blowing just like Beyonce's."
Wow. That is very Joan.
That's Joan Rivers there for you.
You know, those are her words and the tributes poured out on late night television. I tell you what, Entertainment City on the other side. We'll take a look at some of the late night talk show hosts and what they remember most about Joan Rivers right here on BT. Come on back.
No kidding, I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind?